welcome to the James Tayoro Show. Again, I appreciate you all for joining me. Also, I appreciate you for watching the videos. The numbers are rising, okay? Like I said, people are starting to like the show. And every single one of you guys who've been watching from the beginning, I fucking appreciate you because you're making it happen. And, I do it for you guys because obviously I always say, and I probably say this every episode, right? I like making these videos anyway, okay? But it's nice that people watch them, and it's not just I like them because I like the idea of me sat in front of a camera speaking. Although I did used to want to be an actor, so I guess maybe there's a little bit of that. But I just like providing you guys with information. I like being the news source for you guys because I feel like and I'm not saying I should be your only news source. Okay, go look at all the other people, the mainstream media, other sort of news podcasts, whatever. But I like to be a voice for your information because at least then I feel like I'm the type of guy you can trust, right? But you can use what I'm saying or listen to what I'm saying, go compare it to what the other uh, news outlets are saying, and then you could do some fact checking. You could go look into further detail and see who you believe, see who you can trust. What I would say is that I'm trying to do these videos every couple days. Obviously, sometimes there's a few things that come up and I maybe have to miss a day or whatever, or maybe it's 4 days apart, that type of thing. But to be honest, guys, I do show you everything you need to see within the week. And, don't worry, I got you guys covered. Anything that is, I feel crucial that you need to know that isn't just this bullshit fucking that the news is giving you, like who's marrying who. I'm giving you real news, and I feel like it's going to go a long way, and I feel like it's all you really need to watch. Although I do encourage you to go watch other news outlets, not because I want you to I don't want you to become their viewers or anything. I just want you to see that I'm legit, and I'm not trying to be this fucking. I'm not trying to control you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to control you. I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm not trying to indoctrinate you. None of that. I'm just here as a voice, and I'm just reading articles and also giving my opinion. But everyone's giving their opinion, so I'm not going to apologize for that or recommend you go listen to anyone else's opinion because they're all fucking wrong, okay? But I'm going to talk to you about a few stories. I'm going to talk to you about the UFC because there's a big story coming out. It is so stupid, but it's so necessary that you see it. And then a little touch on Trump a little bit and some tariffs, air deportation, airstrike, Doge. Then weirdly in the Ukraine, President Zelensky is saying that over $100 billion that the US sent to him, he didn't receive. Bit strange. And then maybe I'm going to be a hypocrite actually, because I'm going to show you something from the Grammys, some sort of celebrity news, but it's really just a reaction thing. And then I'm going to play you one of the best videos of all time. It's a feel-good video, and I'm not going to go into too much detail to that, but you're definitely going to want to wait and see the video I'm going to show you at the end because it's going to make your day. It's going to make your week. It is going to restore your faith in humanity if you've lost it. So, yeah, we'll definitely wait for that. But first story, right? Coming out of the UFC, there is a UFC fighter called Bryce Mitchell who has started a podcast. I believe it's Arkansanity. Okay, so it's Bryce Mitchell and Rolly Delgado, must be Italian. It's kind of like, I mean, I don't know what the show's about because this was episode 1 and it's not going well so far. Although I guess people are talking about it, so it depends on how you measure success or how you calculate the success of a first episode of a podcast. But he went on this sort of. I'll just show you the video, right? He spoke about Hitler. It's not very good, but what you need to understand is that this guy, Bryce Mitchell, you probably recognize him. I think he was on the Patrick Bet-David show. He said that Elon Musk is like evil or some shit, and now he's saying that Hitler was a good guy, and he's just a hillbilly, and it's funny. Okay, he's a redneck. It's hilarious, but look, I'll show you the video. You see for yourself. It's about 50 seconds long. Okay. So here we go.
Hitler, hell and the Nazis. I really don't think that he was, because I honestly think that Hitler was a good guy based upon my own research, not my public education indoctrination. I really do think before Hitler got on meth, he was a guy to go fishing with. He fought for his country. He wanted to purify it by kicking the greedy Jews out that were destroying his country and turning them all into gays. They were gaying out the kids. They were queering out the women. They were queering out the dudes. They were, you know what her first tranny surgery ever was? Happened to be in Germany before Hitler took over. You know the books that everybody makes fun of Hitler burning? You know what the books was? Queer books. Hitler burned queer books because Hitler didn't want a bunch of queers destroying his nation. They can't produce children. But
yeah, so it's funny because, first of all, I hope that's not what I sound like. Because, you know, he said about the transgenderism, he's like, Hitler burned queer books. Queer books. I hope I don't sound like that, because that actually sounds like someone I would say, except from the Hitler stuff. And I mean, I don't go fishing because I'm fucking straight. But, you know, that it's just funny. It's just funny the way he's, you know, Hitler wasn't that bad of a guy, and he tries saying that. I mean, it doesn't help when you say the greedy Jew, when you're trying to kick the greedy Jews out, because you're kind of attributing greed to the entire Jewish population. I would say that you saying that because they're fighting for their country, stand up for their country, you could attribute that to anyone. So, like, if you don't like someone, you could say the exact same thing. You could say that about Benjamin Netanyahu. You could say that about Hamas. You could say that about fucking Colonel Gaddafi, Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, Hitler. You could say it about me. You could say that about anybody, really. They stand up for what they believe in. So it's not really it doesn't make them a good person. But obviously, look, he's retarded. But he's a good fighter, apparently. But yeah, he's fucking retarded. So he put this statement out because he got a lot of backlash, right? I'll just quickly read this to you. So he said, quote, "I'm sorry I sounded insensitive. I definitely was not trying to offend anyone, but I know I did. I know that a lot of people died in the Holocaust, and that's a fact. Hitler did a lot of evil things. I think we can all agree on that. I'm definitely not a Nazi and definitely do not condone any of the evil things Hitler did." So I don't know what. I guess that doesn't really make sense if you think about the comment, but he did say before Hitler was on meth. So I mean, I don't know when Hitler started taking meth. Maybe, I mean, look, if he starts saying that Hitler didn't take meth until 1938, I'd say okay, fair enough. Maybe he is the type of guy you go fishing with. I know he's a good painter, but I don't know. But obviously Dana White. Yeah, so Dana came out with this because Dana was obviously questioned about it. This is a guy. Yeah, he said Dana wasn't happy. But Dana's reaction is why I love Dana so much. I'll play the video and I'll tell you exactly why. But this is how every single president or CEO or majority shareholder, whatever, if questioned about someone within their company, especially when you're talking about sports, this should be the exact answer. So let me play this by Dana.
This is a guy who took a drill through his nutsack, then had to reverse it and put the drill back out of his. That's the level of stupid that we're talking about here. And I could probably go on for 10 minutes talking about how dumb Bryce Mitchell is. But guess what? Bryce Mitchell has a podcast.
I believe this was episode 1.
What a way to start. But that's the world that we live in now. Dumb people who are really stupid and really ignorant can have a voice. We don't have to agree with it. We don't have to like it. I'm giving you mine and the UFC's position on what he had to say. You know, and this is no different than things that I've said about Strickland, you know. But I will say this. Out of all the dumb, ignorant shit I've heard in my life, this has to be the dumbest and most ignorant.
Last thing from me on this. When you spoke to Bryce about it and said, this is disgusting, did he have any sort of like, oh, I was just talking, or did he walk it back at all?
His thing was, I'm sorry if I put you guys in any position, and, you know.
But not sorry for saying.
He's stupid. He's dumb. You can't fix dumb people. You know what I mean? When you have somebody that's really, really stupid, and that's who we're talking about here, what do you do?
The thing you need to understand, okay, is Dana did not say that he's going to cancel him, didn't say that he's fired, did not say we're not going to have him back. He just spoke the truth. Unapologetically said that Bryce Mitchell, this guy who is a signed fighter for the UFC, he's a fucking idiot. He's stupid. He said about the thing with the fucking... I didn't even know that. He got a drill stuck in his fucking ball bag. How the fuck... I don't know about you guys. A drill ain't going near my dick and balls. Okay? It's just not. So how the fuck this retard fucking done that too? I don't know. But what I like is that it's the free speech element. You know, like, you think, right? What happens now? Okay, people like me or the news run on the story for a little bit, tell everybody, have a laugh, have a joke, and then, you know, the market will decide whether or not they want to cancel him in terms of, well, not in terms of like, you know, shutting him up, but I mean, people will either stop watching his show or they will definitely watch his show. They will either stop watching his fights or they will ramp up the fucking viewers on his fights. That's what will happen. And it's not this huge issue that it would be if we were in the era of presidential administration where they push for censorship and cancel culture. That's the good thing here, is that, okay, if people don't like it, which I don't think people do, if they want him cancelled, the market will cancel him. They won't shut him up. He'll still be able to speak. He'll still be able to fight, I guess. But his money, which is ultimately the whole cancel culture anyway, it will all be dependent on whether or not people actually want to pay to hear him speak or pay to see him fight. And that's what I like, you know, because that is the whole, the social aspect of what people wanted from this Trump administration. Now, don't get me wrong, Dana White would have done this no matter who was president, okay? Because he's a good guy and he's a solid guy who believes in the First Amendment in the United States. However, hopefully, people in Dana's position in other companies across the United States will act this same way now. They know it's okay. You don't have to cancel a guy. Just come out and call him an idiot. It's fine, you know? And yeah, it's that's the way it is. That's what it is. That's what people want in America. That's what they voted for. Dana White was already doing that. But the fact that he's still doing it, doubling down, this is what people like to see. And I think it's great. I think it's great. You don't have to cancel a guy for speaking retarded. Okay? So remember that if I say something fucking stupid, by the way, or I say something stupid and you guys pull it up 10 years down the line. Just remember, I stuck up for the people who I didn't agree with, okay? But yeah, let me quickly move on to Donald Trump. Now look, obviously this is like, what, week 2? This is week 2 of him being president of the United States, and he is absolutely smashing it right now. Obviously, he's the war in Israel is basically stopped now, ceasefire the day. Well, actually, that was the day before we even started. But also, it looks like Russia and Ukraine, according to him, are willing to come to the table. They want to have a talk, a discussion about peace there. He obviously had the thing with the whole Colombian president where Donald Trump spoke to the president of Colombia, said that, you know, we're going to send a load of illegal immigrants back. We're deporting them back to Colombia. Get the runways ready because we're going to be landing a load of planes. President of Colombia said no. Trump then declared a national emergency, said we're cutting off all ties with Colombia and no one from Colombia is going to be able to travel into the United States, government or not. We're not going to trade with them. We're not going to do anything with them within, I think it was 60 minutes, like literally less than an hour. Allegedly, Trump was playing golf at Mar-a-Lago at the time, although I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's the word on the street. And President of Colombia then says, okay, yep, we'll do what you say, and then sends his own planes to go pick him up. Okay, fine, you can bring him. In fact, we're paid to fly him back. Okay, and then obviously you have Doge. Obviously, look, Doge is, Elon Musk, Department of Government Efficiency, but obviously that is Trump's team, and apparently they've cut over $100 billion already. I heard about, so I saw two things. So one, Elon Musk tweeting something about how they've Doge's official account said it, and Elon Musk reposted it, right? So that's, for me, that's as good as fact right now, at least in terms of the evidence. $100 billion saved already of taxpayers' money going into the government, but then also Trump saying that they've saved $1 trillion already with Doge. He said that like 3 days later. So whether or not that's true or not, I can't confirm. However, it is confirmed over $100 billion saved already, and that's saved like now, but that's $100 billion that will not be spent for the rest of the 4 years that Trump's going to be president of the United States. They're only going to crack down more and save more and more money. So if you're a US taxpayer, you should be fucking happy, right? And whether you agree with Trump or not, you should be happy. So there was also this, which I'm going to read for you because I don't want to get any of the facts mixed up, right? So Trump also had this video. This is a video of Trump that came out. This is regarding tariffs, right? So he is talking about, tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and there's a few reasons why I think he's put 25% tariffs on Canada, 25% tariffs on Mexico. I was going to explain it, but then I found this video of Trump, and I thought, well, I'll just let him explain himself, because he can obviously explain it better than I can. So here is the President of the United States explaining his reasoning behind putting tariffs on Mexico and Canada.
Increase the tariffs against Canada. Well, it could happen. If they do anything, we will. Canada's been very abusive of the United States for many years. They don't allow our banks. Did you know that? Canada does not allow banks to go in. If you think about it, that's pretty amazing. If we have a U.S. bank, they don't allow them to go in. Canada's been very tough on oil, on energy. They don't allow our farm products in, essentially. They don't allow a lot of things in, and we allow everything to come in. It's been a one-way street. We subsidize Canada by the tune of about $200 billion a year. And for what? What do we get out of it? We don't get anything out of it. I love the people of Canada. I disagree with the leadership of Canada. And something's going to happen there. But if they want to play the game, I don't mind. We can play the game all they want. Mexico, we've had very good talks with them. And this is retaliatory. This is retaliatory to a certain extent. Millions of people flowed into our country through Mexico and Canada. And we're not going to allow...
Yeah, so again, he's making a good point. He's making a good point. Look, we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars every year on Canada. And, you guys won't allow us to sell even anything in your country. You put these tariffs, you won't let our banks do business in your country. That's not fair. And then obviously with Mexico, it's obviously a lot to do with the deportation. He also said this when it comes to Venezuela. It is so good to have the Venezuela hostages back home. Very important to note that Venezuela has agreed to receive back into their country all Venezuela illegal immigrants who are encamped in the US, including gang members of Tren de Aragua. Venezuela has further agreed to supply the transportation back. We are in the process of removing record numbers of illegal aliens from all countries, and all countries have agreed to accept these illegal aliens back. Furthermore, record numbers of criminals are being removed from our country, and the borders numbers are the strongest they've been since the first of the Trump administration. Sorry, the first term of the Trump administration. So, again, he's basically saying Venezuela taking hostages back. I obviously mentioned Colombia at the beginning of the episode. He just said himself, Mexico are willing to take these guys back. Obviously, he declared a national emergency when it came to the Mexican drug cartel, so he's also keeping Mexico in place there. And, with the Canada, look, Canada are kind of like, I'm trying to think of a way to describe this. They like leeches on America, because without United States, Canada isn't actually that powerful economically, military. Like they're not powerful. So, the only reason that they have no issues is because the United States protect them. And look, the United States probably should protect them to a certain degree because they're neighbors, and you want to keep your neighbors sweet. But there's always an exchange, right? So we'll protect you because it's in our interest to protect you. But at the same time, you can't take liberties when it comes to the way you don't allow us to do business. Yet you throw all of your Canadian products into the United States. And look, I saw earlier that the Canadian dollar and the Mexican peso are tanking in value. That's obviously true, but that's just a sort of reactionary thing. And look, it is what it is. It's probably nothing to be too concerned about. But if you're an American and you're hearing a lot of, anti-Trump guys saying, all these tariffs are going to do is make all the Canadian goods expensive. Well, the whole point that Trump's saying is we don't need their goods anyway. So that's why he said we can play the game if they want to play the game. We can play this game of taxing, tariffs, all of that sort of stuff. He's not bothered. So, it's not bad. And then also, Trump put a statement out on social media. This was on, I think it was X or True Social. No, this was X, saying about a military operation that he had his military conduct. So let me just quickly read this to you as well. So Donald Trump says, quote, "This morning I ordered precision military airstrikes on the senior ISIS attack planner and other terrorists he recruited and led in Somalia. These killers, who we found hiding in caves, threatened the United States and our allies. The strikes destroyed the caves that they live in and killed many terrorists without in any way harming civilians. Our military has targeted the ISIS attack planner for years, but Biden and his cronies wouldn't act quickly enough to get the job done. I did. The message to ISIS and all others who would attack Americans is that," quote again, "we will find you and we will kill you," end quote. So, look, say what you want. He's implementing the things that he ran on, right? So whether and this is the thing you need to understand about a politician, right? Whether or not you agree with what the politicians are doing, right? You have to understand that they get elected because of the promises that they make, right? They get elected on certain agendas. So Trump got elected on the border. Trump got elected on deportation. Trump got elected on tariffs. Trump got elected on dealing with the Middle East, ending wars, and all of these things he's doing, and it's only the second week of his term. I saw actually someone said the other day on X, right? People were saying, 4 years is not a long time because actually I can't remember what I said, so I'm going to ignore that. I don't know what I said, but anyway, look, all you need to know is that Trump is doing what he promised, and it seems to be working so far. We'll see what's going on, obviously, in terms of the economy. That's obviously a bit of a longer game, and we'll see how the economy reacts to these tariffs and everything, but it seems like it's hurting Canada and Mexico a lot more than it's hurting the United States. So, obviously, we'll see what happens in the macro game, right? But just to move on to, because this is so funny, and this is the thing, right? Like, me personally, I don't like to laugh at incompetent governments. Or, well, actually, I do a little bit, but not that much, right? I'm not like obsessed with laughing at incompetent governments. But this is just fucking. I don't even know what to make of this. I genuinely don't know. I'm just gonna play the video. We'll watch it together, and I don't even know what I'm gonna say. But this is a video of Zelensky, who says that he only received 75 billion of the 177 billion that was sent to Ukraine by the United States. So this is, I believe he's speaking in Ukrainian here, so you're going to have to look at the subtitles quickly, but let me just play the video for you.
Дивіться, я коли чую І раніше чув, і сьогодні ми чуємо від Сполучених Штатів Америки, що Америка дала Україні сотні мільярдів, 177, якщо сказати більш точно. Така звучала точна цифра, яку підтримували або голосував Конгрес, тощо різні організації. Дивіться, я як президент воюючої країни вам говорю, ми отримали більше 75. Тобто 100 мільярдів з цих 177 або 200, говорять навіть деякі люди, ми ніколи не отримували. І це важливо. Бо ми говоримо про конкретні речі, бо ми отримали це не грошима, а зброєю. Ми зброю отримали на 70 з чимось мільярдів. Є навчання, тренування, є додатковий транспорт, є не тільки ціну на зброю, були гуманітарні програми, соціальні тощо. Але коли говорять, що Україна під час війни отримала 200 мільярдів на підтримку армії тощо, це неправда. Я не знаю, де всі ці гроші.
Right, so he's basically saying like a couple of things. So one, he's trying to say, look, people say that we're getting all this money from the United States, but actually we're not getting cash. We're getting, you know, weapons and rockets and that sort of stuff. He said we're getting that. We're not getting, like, when you see an article that says they're getting 100 billion, we're not getting 100 billion. We're getting $100 billion worth of stuff, which to me is the same thing. I mean, it's still money out of the US economy, or money that should be going on US economy, or equipment that should be used for US troops and US military operational purposes. But he's saying that 102 billion, or is it no, 102 billion dollars, and not he didn't get, or the. Or whatever, you know, these stories are incorrect. We're not getting X amount of money. So, look, make of that what you think. Make of that what you will. I don't know. Okay, like, I genuinely don't know what to say. I don't, because, like, is he telling the truth? Are the stories coming out of the media and saying that we send it? Well, I say we. I'm talking about the UK, but the US sending $50 billion to, you know, Ukraine. Will they actually send them $50 billion? I mean, Biden has announced many times, and like, and when I say announced, I mean like he's happy about it. He's bragging about the fact, along with the rest of his administration, that they're sending all these hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine. But Zelensky's saying no, you didn't. So I don't know if he's implying that there's corruption, or if he's the corrupt one and saying that it's gone missing, or the same as the money that US couldn't account for, and they said, oh, we may have accidentally given it to Ukraine. It's like the incompetency is proof that Elon and Doge need to be behind the government, because if we're talking about a possible $102 billion, gone where? I don't know, but that's incompetency. And if you're Russia and you hear him say that, you're thinking, the US, huh? They can't even keep on top of their finances that they're sending to another country? It just makes them look weak and stupid. And you can't have that if you're the United... I mean, you can't have that if you're any country, but especially if you're not the United States of America, because you're the superpower that is keeping the Western world afloat and off of China's hand. And I'm an English guy, so I'm saying it like that. Dude, I'm English, okay? I need the US to be doing well, because I don't want to get fucked over by the Chinese, okay? But yeah, listen. Okay, so let's move on to the funny bit quickly, because this is just fucking hilarious. This is fucking hilarious, okay? This is... Okay, so this is Jaden Smith and his sister at the Grammys. What's his sister's name, by the way? Willow. That's not a good name. That's a hoe's name, but the way they showed up to the Grammys, one, it reminds me of Shia LaBeouf when he showed up with, and shout out to Shia LaBeouf, by the way, but when Shia LaBeouf showed up onto the red carpet thing with that fucking paper bag over his head saying, I'm not famous anymore, I thought that was fucking hilarious and also embarrassing, and shows just signs of a fucking fall off, right? But this, what you're seeing here is, and this is really a message to all you, parents out there. This is what you have when you have two children raised by a dad, Will Smith, who is a fucking bitch, right? And a fucking pussy, a wetbag, right? Okay, English slang. A sad, embarrassing man, right? Who gets walked all over by his wife, so their mother, who is a whore. Okay, a slut. A prostitute, promiscuous. An unapologetic, promiscuous mother who walks all over a sad, pathetic loser of a father, and you get this, okay? So this is their children together, brother and sister. Remember, this is brother and sister. They're at fucking the Grammys like this.
Guys, your left, please.
What is that head? What are you wearing? He's got a castle on his head. He has a castle on his fucking head. Why? What the fuck? I mean, I look, I'm not saying I'm the most fashionable guy out there, okay? I've got fucking black, fuck my hair, black, okay? But what the fuck? The thing is, right, okay, before we get to the fucking girl dressed like a hoe, right, or compared to what I'm going to show you in a minute, maybe she's not dressed like a hoe, but Jaden Smith is wearing a suit. That's a good outfit. Why you got a fucking house on your head? Why? Someone tell me why. Who the fuck said, unless you're literally thinking about Shia LaBeouf and thinking, I need to make a statement, I need to be relevant again. Although if I had a mother and a father like him, I wouldn't want to be relevant at all. Unless I really had something good to show you, like a good fucking music, good film, good company, something. You'd have to have something to show before you get in the spotlight like this fucking kid. But a house on a head. It makes... Like, Shia LaBeouf, I'm not famous anymore, is at least like he's like coming out. He's asking for help. At least it makes sense. At least you can read something. A house on a head is like, what? And then why is she dressed? Who the fuck said dress like that? What brother goes out with a sister dressed like that? Like, if you're going to the beach or you're on holiday, I get it. But you go into... Yeah, sis, you know what? Tell you what, wear a fucking bathing suit and just put a big long coat on. No one will care. It makes no sense. Where's the fucking parents? Will Smith, is that what you wanted your daughter to be like? Huh? When you were writing your rap songs without swearing because you wanted to be a good influence? That's what you get. Because you're a pussy. Jada Pinkett Smith, I mean, you're just a hoe, so I get it, but that's just fucked. But not compared to this. This is even worse. This is even worse, right? So, this is Kanye West with his girlfriend. And this is... Actually, I don't mind this. I actually don't mind this. It's alright, but this is just crazy. I actually thought this was fake when I saw it. I thought Kanye had been hacked. But this is it, look.
And over that shoulder one time.
Over the shoulder! What a reveal!
Beautiful. Right there, Bianca. Beautiful. Right here.
Right here on the right, please.
Yeah, guys, let's see the left, please. Bianca, right?
And on the right.
Bianca, that's smile this way. Oh, there it is. Perfect.
And right here, sweetheart, right there.
Guys, together, just over to your left. Bianca, fashion, so beautiful.
And right here,
And that smile
right in front of you, please.
Bianca, to your left.
What's she naked for? Like, okay, look, I get it. Okay, good saw. Oh, you're English. If you're American, you won't know English. Saw. Good-looking girl, right? Great body. I get it. Okay, great body, great fucking titties, whatever. Nice ass. Good head, face cut. She's like a 9 or 10. She's like a 10. I get it. But why? I don't know. Kanye, oh look, it looks good for Kanye. He's basically got his hands like this. He's like that. Yep. With the sunglasses on, basically saying I'm hitting that, which is great. But in public, women don't do that because, yeah, there's nothing more to her now because we've seen her naked. She probably doesn't have much more value. I mean, even if she did, she could be fucking Mother Teresa. You go naked in front of the whole world. There's nothing more to show. There's nothing left. There's nothing interesting about you anymore. I don't want to sound sexist, but it's the truth, okay? But yeah, listen, guys, that's basically what's happened this week. I'm trying to think if anything. Have I missed anything? Arsenal, fucking beasts. I'm an Arsenal fan, by the way. 5-1 Man City. What can I say? But yeah, other than that, guys, there's not really much to talk about. I'm going to speak a lot more about the UK tomorrow. But I'm just waiting on a few things before I do a video on it because I want to make sure that I get the facts right, and I want to make sure that everything that I tell you about the UK this week is everything. I want to make sure that it is everything you need to know. Okay, but stay tuned for that. And let me just show you this. This is a video that I think is arguably one of the best videos I think I've ever seen on the internet. It's just a feel-good video. It's about a doctor. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I want you guys to see it, but you are going to like it, and please watch the whole video. And if you like the video at the end, well, you might as well like this whole video. Okay, you might as well like my fucking video. If you're not subscribing, subscribe. I need more subscribers. I need to get the fucking dollar in. Yeah, listen, guys, I appreciate you watching. See me next time. See me tomorrow when I release another episode. And enjoy this video I'm about to show you now because this is the type of video that fucking touches me. And I don't cry easy, okay? Like, usually it's some fucking, dad from the army comes back to see his little fucking retarded kid. That's the type of shit that gets me going. And this video might possibly beat that. So, yeah. Enjoy it, and thank you very much. And I'll see you guys next time, okay?